Hello, my name is Vernon Caldera. I'm here because during the pandemic, I taught myself how to paint. Before that, I made live sculptures out of my terrariums, and long before that, I was in my first art exhibition at the Houston Public Library after winning a citywide drawing contest in the 8th grade. For my day job, I founded Left Brain Right Brain Design in 2007, focusing on graphic and interior design. I then launched Keep Houston Rich, a website about Houston's diversity, at the Design Fair at Lawndale Art Center. Recently, I was part of the award-winning team for a restaurant at the Ion. In 2010, I began making terrariums as art. I view each terrarium as its own world where the plants are its citizens. They have been featured on the Deborah Duncan Show, in national magazines, the cover of 002 Houston, at the Beholden Store, and galleries throughout the city. Fast forward to the start of the pandemic. After binging Portrait Artist of the Year, I learned how to paint by watching YouTube videos. The painting on the left is of my husband giving me my first haircut during COVID. The work on the right is one of my first assignments at Glassell, the art school at the Museum of Fine Arts, Houston. In 2021, Malawi Gardeners was given an honorable mention at Glassell's annual student show, my first year. The scene comes from a trip I took in 2018 to Malawi, where I designed a xeriscaping garden for a maternal health clinic. I remember taking the picture and thinking I would like to paint it someday. Also in 2021, Las Palmas was selected for the Visual Art Alliance's 37th annual juried exhibition. The juror, Harry Cooper, is a senior curator at the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C., and praised the composition style and use of color in this painting. The following year, in 2022, another one of my paintings, Shopping at the Manil, was selected for the VAA's 38th juried exhibition. This time, the juror was Allison DeLima Green, a curator of modern and contemporary art at the Museum of Fine Arts, Houston. Then this month, I received news that Yosemite Sunbathers on the left was selected as a finalist in Acrylic Works' annual list of best paintings. The issue will come out in September of this year. The painting on the right was selected for an exhibition at the Kinder Morgan headquarters in downtown Houston. I'm originally from Nicaragua, and I'm influenced by my time spent in Mexico City and Houston. I'm drawn to the strong use of color and figurative storytelling of Latin American art. I combine these elements with a bit of camp and sci-fi to create my own style of magical realism. I often use plants in my work, giving them anthropomorphic qualities. In the painting on the left, El Hombre Mariposa, I imagine what it would be like to float inside one of my terrariums. In the painting on the right, I use electric tones for the plants and the burro planter to add drama. My subject matter often comes from photographs I take exploring Houston or while traveling. Here we have Papa Merlin on the left, who is often spotted walking up and down Montrose. Below him, the presidential limo in Mexico City, and on the right, my husband looking at two oceans meet at the southernmost point in Africa. I like to make collages in order to explore compositions for my paintings. In this series, I explore fairy tales, combining my own photographs with storybook drawings, art paper, playing cards, and vintage posters. From these collages, I sometimes make paintings such as the one on the bottom right. In Sueños de Andalucía, on the left, I tell the story of coming out to myself back in college during a trip to Spain. The out-proud gay man represented by the matador looks back at a younger version of himself. The painting on the right is of a statue at the Museum of Fine Arts depicting a fallen angel. This spring, I finished a trilogy about San Sebastián. The paintings combine images from my grandmother's house in Miranda, Nicaragua, with the town's patron saint, San Sebastián, to highlight the role the Catholic Church plays in creating and sustaining homophobia, a common narrative I explore in my work. So this is my QR code to follow me on Instagram. I want to thank everyone who came out, everybody who's online, and I ask you to follow me on Instagram, where you can find out more about upcoming exhibitions, but most importantly, buy my work.